Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. Today, we are flying the Cirrus SR22 going from Kodiak, Alaska up to Soldotna. It's going to be about a 51-minute flight. Looks like 170 miles exactly is what this on SkyVector is saying. We're going at 19,000 feet. Climb aboard. Let's go flying. This song has kind of grown on me a little bit. I know it's come up in the playlist in the last few streams that I've done. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's catchy. I figured I'd start with Flight Sim 20 because I wanted to fly the SR22 today. And so we'll do one in this, we'll do one in 24, and then we'll probably do Planet Coaster later. Alright, we're loaded in here on the ground at Kodiak. The weather's not great, so we're definitely going to be going through some clouds, IFR equipped. We'll have to pay attention to icing, stuff like that. But we should be okay. Hold on a second, I don't know why this is loaded in windowed. I had it full screen. It did have an update, so I wonder if some of the settings kind of reset or updated or something. Alright, apply and save. Alright, we're good now. Alright, so here we are. Let's go ahead and get the plane started up. First things, the battery switches come on. It is good to be back in this plane. It's the one that I fly the most. I'm the most familiar and comfortable with it. The X-Cub I'm also fairly comfortable with. But this is just a charm to fly. It's really quite easy. Once you get used to it, I should say. It has a little bit of a learning curve, but it's really not bad. Alright, the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is turn on the nav and strobe lights. We have a drain on the battery. Go ahead and get the engine cranked up here. Left is clear, right is clear. Get really pretty views in Kodiak too. It's one of my favorite places to go in and out of. I haven't done any flights into Kodiak lately. I've done a couple out. At some point soon I'll fly into Kodiak, probably in the new sim. Alright, looks like we're good ahead. Alright. Got the mixture full rich and boost pump on. And real quick again, we'll clear left, right, ahead, we're good. Clear! Alright. Oil pressure's immediately up into the green. Temperature is starting to rise. Alternator switch is on. Now we have positive amperage on the battery. Turn the avionics on. And let's get the weather here at Kodiak real quick. This is easy in this sim. I wish 24 had it this easy to be able to pull up the weather. Alright, 150 at 6, so a runway 8 departure is probably fine, although we could go to runway 11 if we wanted to, but 8's fine. I mean, a 6 knot wind, that's going to be like a 4 to 5 knot crosswind component. It's nothing. Few clouds at 2400, broken at 3500, overcast at 4500. 13 Celsius on the ground. Depending on how thick those clouds are, I don't think we'll really have to worry about icing, but we'll pay attention to it. 2983 on the altimeter, that is set. Alright. Actually, tell you what, before we taxi out, I was gonna get ready to taxi and set, the GPS stuff and autopilot stuff up at the, hold short bar of the runway, but let's just do it now. We're cruising at 19,000 feet. Tad bit far there. Alright, there we go. FLC we want set to what in the world? It's the reverse. Other aircraft with a wheel like this to set the speed, you're actually scrolling down. And in this you're scrolling up. 110. We'll set nav on VNav. Vertical speed stays off. Altitude hold at 19,000. Alright, I think we are good to taxi now. Let's release the parking brake. Throttle up a little bit. This, here at the end of the runway is Barometer Mountain, a very prominent peak on the, at least on this portion of the island. When you fly in, if you're coming into runway 26, it is an absolutely gorgeous view because you're coming into land on the runway and right at the end of it is that just beautiful mountain. Alright, so we're gonna taxi up ahead. Cool view of the hangar. This is stock scenery at this airport. I actually did have a mod that updates the scenery at this airport. Oh, go. Well, you're stopping like halfway over the bar. That's a runway incursion right there. Alright, we'll stop here, set the parking brake real quick. Alright, let's do a quick, before takeoff, run through everything. Rudder's good, elevator is good, ailerons are good. Flaps to half. Back into the cockpit. Power the engine up to 1700 RPMs. A little bit more. Just a touch more. Good right there. Let's go ahead and check the mags. So the right one first. That's a good drop. Back to both. Now the left. Back to both. That's good. Engine instruments are all looking good. There's no warnings, errors, anything like that. Pull back to idle power. Let me zoom in on the map. We'll get our runway heading set. Well, right about there. Looks pretty good. Alright, reset the view. Alright. Looks like the runway is clear up ahead. Let's go ahead and just taxi out there, get lined up. I suppose, too, we can turn the landing light on. That would be a good thing. Where are these guys all going? Yeah. Let's just hold position for a moment here. Let's make sure everything is set. Alright, our heading indicator is good. Let me set the park and brake real quick. And we'll just take a quick look outside. And... Alright, we got a vehicle, a tug, a forklift, and a fuel truck, and they're coming behind. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on the count of 3, you know what to say. 1, 2, 3. Get off the runway! I can't resist. And look at that, they're not even all moving together. This is Barometer Mountain, by the way. Not that, sorry. Alright, at least they're behind us, so we don't have any obstacles taking off ahead. Alright, let's go. Park and brake off, full power forward. Engine instruments are looking good. Airspeed has come alive. We're looking for 77 knots. We'll rotate and get airborne. There we go. Up. Beautiful. Alright, we've got a positive rate of climb. We can go ahead and bring the flaps up now. And we're looking for about 100 just immediately after liftoff. .800 feet we can turn and get ready to go on course. These clouds look pretty low. JP, what's going on, man? Alright, 800 we can turn. Let's just fly out this direction for a moment here. And we'll keep climbing. Let me go ahead and zoom out on the map. Alright. Turn the autopilot on. And it looks like it is going to try to actually... Hold on a second. Why is it... Oh, that's not good. Why is it doing that? It should be sending us up, not trying to level us off. It's because altitude hold? Yeah, that might be it. Although we have 19,000 set. Let's reactivate the autopilot. Well, the FLC shut off again. That's why. Yeah. Alright, we're clear of terrain. Can't believe YouTube hid this for me for 9 minutes. Oh, man. Well, you really didn't miss too much, so it's all good. Alright. 3,300 feet, and the temperature's down to 6 Celsius. We'll turn the pitot heat on. And the temperature is dropping pretty quick as we climb. We are going to go ahead and turn the airframe de-ice on, just in case, because we're going to get ready to pass through some clouds, and there's no telling how thick that's going to be. Quick view outside the cockpit. We can even now just barely see the airport. Right back here. And now we basically can't see much of anything. The city of Kodiak would be somewhere out here, but you can... Well, no, okay, if we zoom in a little bit, we can kind of barely make it out over here. That's where the city of Kodiak is. Back into the cockpit here. Climbing up through that first layer of clouds. Why is there a code in the description? Oh, that's just the airport identifiers and the flight plan. Alright, well, we've broken through. So those clouds actually were not very thick. And it's still +2 Celsius. I think we can turn the de-ice off. I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. Alright, 0 Celsius at about 7,400 feet, so it's not too bad. Oh, the clouds kind of break up a little bit. You get a decent view out this direction here. And you can look down here kind of at the edge of the island. Alright, let's go ahead and set a cruise climb rich of peaks. So what we're going to do is pull back on the power so we get to about 30.5 on the manifold pressure. Alright, right about there. Now we're going to lean the mixture until we get about 20 gallons per hour of fuel flow. Right about there. We're just over 9,000 feet. We're going up to 19,000. And since we've got a pretty easy climb and route, let's go ahead and pull the map up. Our route today. So this is Kodiak Island right here. This is Kodiak's main airport where we took off from. This is Kodiak's downtown airport. That's a fun place to take off and land. We may do that, but you need a smaller plane. You could probably do it in the SR22. I've done it in the X-Cub a couple times. And we're flying up. This is a Fognak Island right here. Then we cross right over the Kenai Peninsula. We cross almost right over Seldovia, one of my favorite places. We'll pass directly over Homer, and then we descend into Soldotna, which sits just southeast of Kenai, up here. Relatively short flight. The winds aloft are very favorable today too, so it's given us a little bit of a boost. Remember when I built the side friction coaster? I'm gonna make another for the Mythology Park. Sounds good, man. Yeah, we're going back in that Viking Park later today. That seems to have been kind of a hit. I'll be doing that later this evening. After this flight, I think I'm gonna do one more in the other sim. Now look at that, the clouds are just basically a blanket on the sky underneath us. It's a little more clear out that direction, but not particularly good weather today. We can turn the landing light off. That is kind of pretty though. I'm not instrument rated in the real world, so I don't get to do it often, but every once in a while when I would fly and just be able to be above the clouds and you just look down and see them, it's a little bit surreal. This here, yeah, a little bit of a break in the clouds here. You can see this all here is a Fognak Island, which is more or less an extension of Kodiak. It's pretty. Alright, let me go in, shut the landing light off. Yeah, we're good. Once we reach cruise, we'll shut the boost pump off. We can zoom out a little bit more on the map, in fact. To 25 miles, maybe? We could go out even further. That's the entire route. And we have almost a direct tailwind, and it's pretty strong today, so this is actually really helping us out. 36 knot tailwind. Actually, if we adjusted the display to that, yeah, 35, 36, and a 4 knot crosswind. Very negligible. That's actually really working out well for us. It's going to be about a 50 to 51 minute flight. This flight normally takes over an hour. Or right about an hour, I should say, with no wind. And if we were going with that headwind, or for example, if today we went the opposite direction from Soldotna down to Kodiak, it would be closer to about an hour 10, hour 15. Coming up to 18,000 feet, we're going to set standard pressure here. It's 2992. There we go. And here we are leveling off, so we're going to accelerate. We don't have to touch... Actually, we do just a touch. A little bit. I was going to say we don't have to touch the mixture or the power setting or anything. But let's lean it out a tad more as we've climbed. Bump it just a little bit there. Come on. There we go. Clouds are a little thinner over here, that's good. If we zoom way in, you look over here, that is actually the southern tip of the Kenai Peninsula. There's some islands kind of in between the peninsula and a Fognak Island. And that right there, I think, is... Let me check the map because I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the northern tip of a Fognak. Yeah, right up here. If we look off this way, unfortunately everything is clouded over. I was hoping we'd be able to see a couple mountain peaks, but I don't think that's going to be the case today. Yeah, so be it. Not great weather in most of the state. There are a couple exceptions. It looks like the best weather that I'm seeing is around a town called Nenana, which is up by Fairbanks. Fort Yukon, where we were yesterday, is looking decent. And then kind of east of Anchorage, northeast, so to speak, has decent weather. And then all the way down in the southeast, like Ketchikan. Not really many great options to fly up here today. But you know what? Every once in a while, I don't mind flying with clouds. Gives a little practice flying in instrument conditions, which is kind of challenging compared to when the weather's nice and you can just see everything for reference. But look at this here. We are getting a 40-knot tailwind. We are doing 264 across the ground. That is incredible. I don't remember the last time I've done a flight with that good of a tailwind. That good of a ground speed even, really. So I'm thinking in 24 we're gonna do a Vision Jet flight, and I have a couple options. We could do Hawaii, or we could do French Polynesia. Actually, depending on where we go there, it might be a little bit too short of a flight to use the Vision Jet. I could try my hand at the Corvallis, or we could take the X-Cub or something like that. Heck, we might even do both. We got time. Isn't this free? No, it is. It is not free. It is on Game Pass though. So if you have Game Pass, you can access it. Minus 19 Celsius, that's about minus 2 Fahrenheit. Up here, that's actually not too cold relative to our altitude. Once we pass over the southern tip of the Kenai Peninsula, that's right about the halfway point. And this is saying just 27 more minutes en route. That's actually really good. This may end up being even less than 51 minutes flight time. Actually, would you like me to? Because I'm doing the side friction now in Planco 2, but what type of Viking? Like in the mountains Viking, or just Viking like in the temperate kind of? I mean, since the park I have is more of like the mountains, like it's the taiga biome, so probably more along those lines, but it's up to you. Do whatever you want, man. Oh, fuel imbalance. I always forget to do that. We can also go ahead and turn that off now. That should clear in just a moment. Wait, am I streaming on Twitch as well? No, I don't do Twitch. Oh, it's actually clear out that way. Well, at least you get a really good view of the beautiful Pacific Ocean. You can't really see much else. Alright, the fuel imbalance cleared. That's cool down here. These are those little islands kind of in between a Fognak and the southern tip of the peninsula. This is showing 21 minutes remaining, so we're actually going to have to plan a descent here in the next couple minutes. Let's grab the weather at Soldotna real quick. See if we can... Oh, we can't reach it. Alright, I know how to get it. Here's a little bit of a shortcut. It's going to update in a moment, but all we'll have to do is click on the map and click on the airport. Yeah, we'll get an update here in probably 3 to 4 minutes. Based on what this says, the weather's actually pretty crummy. The wind is calm, that's good, but the ceiling is low. They don't have an ILS approach. Ooh, okay. Let me pull up Sky Vector, see what they do have. That's going to be a bit challenging if they don't have... I'm sure they do. Soldotna is a pretty good-sized GA airport. They'd have to have like an RNAV approach or something. Oh, they do. Yeah, okay. So they have an RNAV for 7 and 2.5. We could look at the RNAV 7. That's gonna take us out over the water. And the RNAV for 2.5. Yeah, let's go RNAV 2.5. It's gonna be a shorter and easier approach to fly. Alright, so we're right about the halfway point. Just now passing over the very southern tip. Oh yeah! Yeah, this sky's broken enough that you can see it, so yeah. Here it is right here. We'll pass over Seldovia. Actually, we're going to pass to the side of it, but we should get a pretty good view of it here in a moment. Maria, welcome. Hope there will be snow on the ground when we land. There will not. There should not at Soldotna. And, Dale, what's going on, man? Cookie Pirate. Yeah, rock on and beer. Let me go back in the airplane and take a look at a couple things here. You know what? we're gonna set direct to the final approach fix, and then we'll just branch off and do vectors, because that descent profile is not totally right from what I'm seeing. Alright. I'm looking at the minimum altitudes here. We won't pass over any terrain that is higher than 3,000 feet. So we're going to turn this down to 3,500. And let's just make sure our VNAV is on. It is. We're coming up on top of descent here in a little bit. Let's zoom back in on the map now that we've kind of cleared. So we'll be starting the descent right over Homer pretty much. Dull. Oh, not that Homer. Ah, bad Simpsons reference. I couldn't resist. Beer only for passengers for now. Yeah, right? Oh, man. So, yeah, for those of you that have joined a little bit later, this is Flight Sim 2020. I wanted to fly the Cirrus, so we've got this for now. We're gonna do one, potentially two flights in 24. We'll do one in the Vision Jet and maybe a second one in a different plane. We'll figure that out. I don't know. It's gonna depend on time. But we are definitely doing PC2 later tonight, and we're gonna be continuing the Viking Park. Some real cool stuff. Yeah, JP's building a really cool coaster for the Viking Park. I appreciate you doing that, man. Almost. Oh, it's getting a little bit bumpy over here. It's not too bad. But yeah, we've got a 43 knot, 44 knot wind aloft. We're getting about a 42 knot. Yeah. 267 over the ground. That's really good in this plane. Denzel Washington's character would probably not agree. Oh, man. I'm doing it because it gives me a reason to build a coaster. Yeah, absolutely. I'm holding off a little bit on that Yukon Park that I wanted to start because I've had too much fun going back into the Viking Park. But we will be doing that soon. Dale, you're a champ, man. You always have such a good attitude. I mean, really everybody does. It's awesome. That's what this is all about. Yeah, JP's easier to say. Oh, whoa. Alright, can we get updated weather for Soldotna now? We should be able to. It's only 55, 56 miles. Still not available? What? Alright, good. It is starting us a descent. So we're gonna pull the power back down to about 35%. So when VNAV takes over, your descent profile is set and you control your airspeed with the throttle. When you do vertical speed, your rate of descent is set and your airspeed is controlled with the throttle. When you do FLC on a descent, your airspeed is fixed and your descent rate is adjusted by the throttle. So it does get a little bit confusing sometimes, but the way we have it set right now, this is actually pretty on par with what we want. Still not available 52 miles out. Come on! Alright, so we're gonna pull the map up and we're gonna cheat a little bit. Gonna click on Soldotna right here. No. Come on. There we go. Okay. 260 at 6. Oh, I'm glad we set up for 2.5. That's the better way to go. 10 miles, so that is starting to clear up a little bit. Few clouds at 1600, 4900 overcast, 13 Celsius on the ground, and 2982. We'll go ahead and set that here. Yeah, we're down below 18,000. Oh, we're good. I still want to see some pirate-themed parks or worlds. Pirate theme is my favorite, especially considering your name. Yeah. We'll definitely do a pirate park. What is that? I'm trying to remember the name of the career map. Is it Paradise Lost? For some reason that sounds just too, sounds a little too cliche, but that actually could be it. Where's Isle of Plains? Oh yeah, where is he? We need him over here. Yeah, he's missing out. The good thing is he's going to have at least one more flight to be able to catch. And perhaps another one after that. So I think he's going to be mad if he misses me flying the Vision Jet, though. .250 over the ground. Wow. Minus 11, so as we're going down, it is warming up, which is normal. Do you think someone could watch Microsoft Flight Simulator enough to be able to fly? Yes. I would say yes. However, you would have to watch somebody who explains what they're supposed to do. And it probably would take some practice. Like, you can't watch one flight sim stream and, unless you're ultra talented or something like that, and be able to do that exactly and have as smooth of a flight as whoever streams it. And I'm not referring to myself in this case as the streamer, but just in general. you would have to have somebody explain the proper way to set stuff up, and it does take practice. It really isn't that difficult once you get airborne, but taking off and landing can be tricky, especially landing. So it certainly is something to practice. But if you start with small planes, you're going to have a lot better time. A lot of people go in and try to fly like the big jets and everything like that, and they struggle. Those are not good planes to start with. Think of what people start with in the real world. Small planes. Fly something small, forgiving, not overly fast, easy to control. You're going to have a lot better time. I've been watching these cool guys doing 13-hour flights. Yeah, nah, that's not for me. But yeah, it is quite a learning experience. I once flew a fighter, but it was in GTA. I know where you're going. Guys, what should I call this coaster? I'd have to think about that. You know, it's an old wooden, so I would say maybe try to come up with a name based on kind of the northern temperate boreal forests that you would find in Scandinavia or something like that. I'm not telling you to include the word timber. But maybe something kind of along those lines, you know? Have a reference to forests, perhaps. Alright, -4, we're starting to go through some clouds, so as a precaution, let's just turn the de-icing on. Like my other Ride the Night's call. No, I would say I think it would be better if you can incorporate some sort of a reference to the forest. Because, I mean, even when people ride it in the daytime, -2 and we're still descending. We're about to go through some clouds, so we may pick up a trace of ice. I don't think it's going to be bad. And also, this is really interesting. I just realized I have never flown into Soldotna. I've flown out of it many times, never flown into it, so this will be interesting. Usually when I do a flight out of Kodiak, I'm going to Kenai, not Soldotna. Let's see. Odin's Wrath, the Longship, Mjolnir, Thor's Hammer, Valhalla Voyage, the Serpent Spine, Ragnarok Run, the Berserker, Howl of Fenrir, Draco's Descent, Timber of the North. Man! Those are enough coaster names to create a whole freaking theme park. I like the Berserker. Yeah, that's actually a really interesting one. Okay, I'll work on a name. Timber of the North could be a really good one, actually. I like that. Alright, let me zoom in just a touch more on the map here. What we want to do is branch out this way so we have enough time to get set up on final, because once we hit this right here, the final approach fix, we're gonna have an almost immediate descent. So I want to get ourselves branched off just a little bit so we have a little more room to work with. Alright, so let's actually do this. We're going to turn nav off, and we're going to fly the heading indicator. It's hardly a difference from where we're going, but it's enough that it'll give us a couple extra miles out over here to prepare for descent. We're still doing 201 over the ground. The tailwind is down to about 20, but that's still really good. And we are in the thick of the clouds. The temperature is above 0 now, so that's good. What I see, we didn't pick up any ice, so we can turn that off. Thanks, ChatGPT. Hey, I wasn't gonna call you out on it, but I was a little suspicious. But hey, I'm not blaming you. That's being pretty resourceful. So, ChatGPT is pretty cool. It does some good stuff. Although I will tell you, ChatGPT was pretty bad when I asked for piano pieces and suggestions. I said, recommend me a relatively easy prelude, and it suggested one of the most difficult and virtuosic pieces known. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. Gonna get ready to watch the Packers-Lions game. Who are you rooting for? Thank you for everything. Can't wait for PC2 stream later on. Alright, man. Enjoy the game. Look forward to seeing you later. Yeah, PC2 tonight is going to be really cool. Lions, I'm a Bears fan and hate the Packers. Okay, I respect that. I'm not a Packers fan either, but since they lost Aaron Rodgers, I don't have as big of a reason to dislike them. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. I'm a Jets fan. I regret that the Jets ever picked him up. Terrible. What happened the last time we got Packers quarterback, Brett Favre, who was great, you know, at his time there? He came in and tanked the team. Man. That made me mad. Alright, we can descend a little bit more. We leveled off at 3,500. Let's drop down to... yeah, let's just go down to 1,500. I like the Bears. If I had to pick one team in the NFC North, I would go with the Bears. Alright, now we need to turn the FLC back on. Let's turn that speed up just a little bit, 149, and the reason I'm setting that is because we can do flaps half at any time. Well, I guess it wants to stick at 148. Alright, but we've broken out of the clouds, 7 Celsius here. And you look out that way, you can kind of see the water. Alright. Tell you what, let's actually... Oh, that's going to descend us too slow. So what we're going to do is actually disconnect the autopilot, cut the power, and we're going to fly manually. Level off. We've got to trim out a little bit here. Not that much. Touch more. That's good there. I'm going to go ahead and drop the flaps to half. Axe of the Forest. Ooh. That could be an interesting one. Okay, I see the runway. We're way high. Alright, so here's what we need to do. We need to level off and bleed some more speed. Power's idle. Let's just get below 110, we can go full flaps. And then we're gonna slip the plane. Alright, full flaps. What I mean by slip, we're gonna kick the rudder in one direction, and we're gonna tilt the wing the opposite direction. See how we're pointed down? We're starting to descend really steeply. However, we're gaining very little speed as we do this. That is a good way to bleed airspeed and altitude at the same time. Once we get to the altitude we need to be at, we just take the slip out. So we're right about there, so we're going to take the rudder back out, and we're just going to line back up. Now we're on the approach path we need to be on. Let's add a little bit of power in. Now we're a little bit low, so we're just going to level off right here. And we've got a visual, so we don't have to do the instrument approach. Alright, now we're on path. That's looking better. Trim the plane just a little bit here. I want to let go of the stick, and I want it to kind of fly itself on the path that we're supposed to. That's pretty good right there. Try to keep our speed between 80 and 85. Just a tiny bit fast, but we're okay. Take some power out, point the nose down a little bit here. Said 500 because we're 500 feet above airport elevation. The altitude we're displaying is above sea level. Alright, we're a touch low. Let's level off, add just a little bit of power in. Now we're looking pretty good. See the two white lights and then the two red lights behind that. That's what we want. But as we're looking right now, we're good. Alright, we're a touch slow, so let's actually add a little bit of power in. It's a little breezy, not bad. Although it has picked up a bit. Looks like between kind of 8 to 10 to... I've seen it spike up to 12 a couple times. So a little bit of course correction here. It is breezy, and it's... Alright, let's take the power out. We're actually going a bit too fast now. Just roll. Are we having to go all the way to the end of the runway? Yeah, I guess so. Stream frames landed too. Alright. Yeah, we had to roll out full length. Alright, hit the brakes. We'll take this turn right here. Slow down just a touch more. Yeah, we're skidding a little bit here. There we go. Alright. Yeah, flaps are up. Welcome to Soldotna, 13 Celsius on the ground, so it's about the same as it was in Kodiak. And I can't say get off the runway because he's not on the runway. Get out of the way! Welcome to Soldotna. This is the place where everybody drives the craziest. Yeah, we just ran over a taxiway light. Right in the middle on the center line. Beep, 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 beep. Get out of the way. Move. Get out the way. I prefer not to swear on stream, so I'm not gonna sing the full lyrics of that song. We just have a couple vans, a forklift, another forklift, a truck. He's ready to get on the runway. Yeah, but the interesting thing here is they don't really go out onto the runway. They just drive all over the place and just stop lined up like a conga line of vehicles just in your way. Now, where are we supposed to go? Find a parking space. Let's go right up here by this truck. We've got a free parking space here. And stop. Oh, I think we overshot it a little bit, but that's okay. Alright, parking brake set. Did bro just become the Joker? That laugh. That's a pirate laugh. Arr! Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, we rolled through a little bit there. Taking that turn, but whatever. Alright, let's shut the engine down. So the first thing we're going to do is turn off the, if I can see, avionics and the alternator switches here. Yeah, that works. Clear that. Now we're going to cut the mixture idle. 49 minutes, so we're actually, well, 58 seconds, so 50 minutes, so we were right about on target, maybe a minute fast, not bad. Alright, the engine is stopped. Clear those indicators. The next thing we'll do is turn, oh, don't turn the parking brake off, but we're not going to roll. We'll turn these lights off, and then magnetos to off, and the battery switches. That's it. Really easy. Yeah, we did roll through that space a few feet, but whatever. Alright, welcome to Soldotna, Alaska. Hope you all enjoy the flight. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We're going to pick up in 2024 with the Vision Jet somewhere. I haven't quite decided exactly where yet. But it's going to be not Alaska. I can tell you that much. Looking forward to bringing something interesting. So, hang tight. Hope you all can catch me for that one. If not, no worries. And then after that flight, we'll end up doing potentially a second flight in 24. Certainly be doing PC2 later this evening. So, thank you all. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you soon, hopefully. And as always, take care, stay safe. We'll see ya. Wait, before I go. He's not on the runway. Okay, he gets a pass. Get off the taxiway!